During the last week of November, I decided to visit Gonzaga, the village where my mom spent her childhood. It wasn't just about the place, it was about reconnecting with the cherished memories of my grandparents, whom I used to visit as a child. Those visits were filled with warmth, laughter, and moments that stayed with me for over the years. The sight, sound, and even the scent of the village remained vivid in my mind, and I knew it was time to step back into that world. I wanted to reimagine the stories my mom told me, relive the innocence of my childhood days, and reconnect with the parts of my root that shaped who I am today. These memories include traveling on foot for about 2.5 hours from my village to my mom's village. Back then, there was no transport available to that area, so walking was our only option. On this visit, even though transport is now available, I chose to walk. I wanted to fully immerse myself in the experience. The landscape, the sound, it reminded me of the chats my mom, Magazi, and my siblings and I used to share as we walked together along that same path. When I arrived at my grandparents' house, a wave of emotions washed over me as countless memories came rushing back. This was a place filled with love, laughter, and the warmth of my childhood, and being there again brought it all to the surface. The first thing I felt compelled to do was to visit the garden, the very place where my grandparents were laid to rest. Standing there, I wanted to reconnect with them in some way, as if being in that space might bring them back to me, even just for a moment. I could vividly recall how they would greet us whenever we visited. Warm handshakes, kisses on our cheeks, and their joyful remarks about how we would grow. It was a tradition that made us feel so loved and seen. But this time was different. Their absence left an ache in my heart, a reminder of how much time has passed. To honor those memories, I wandered through the garden and around the house, letting each step take me back to moments of joy and connection. I reimagined the scenes of my childhood, allowing myself to relive them as though they were happening again. I paused often, taking in every detail, the textures, the colors, the scents, capturing anything that sparked my interest. In those moments, I let myself be fully present, embracing both the bittersweetness of the past and the beauty of being there again. Walking through the house and the garden, I realized just how much this place shaped my family and in turn me. It wasn't just a home, it was the foundation of our values, our traditions, and the stories that connect us across generations. I could feel the presence of my grandparents in every corner, in the crack of old wooden doors, and in the faint scent of the garden flowers they used to tend. It reminded me of the importance of family bonds, of taking time to remember where we come from, and of cherishing those who come before us. This visit wasn't just about looking back, it was about reconnecting with those roots and finding strength in them. It's a reminder that even though they are no longer physically here, their love and lessons live on in us. And as I continued to explore, I couldn't help but feel a renewed sense of gratitude for the simple yet profound impact this place has had on my life. This time around, we were welcomed by uncles who carried the same warmth and kindness that my grandparents once showed. Their smiles and laughter reminded me of the strong family bonds that have always been at the heart of this home. They shared stories about their childhood. As we sat and talked, I realized how much of my grandparents' spirit lives on in them, in their gestures, their humor, and the way they made us feel so at home. It was comforting and bittersweet, a reminder that While some things change, the essence of family remains the same. As I left my grandparents' home, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude for the time I spent there. The memories, the quiet moment of reflection, and the connections with family reminded me of what truly matters. This visit wasn't just about revisiting the past, it gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me the strength to face whatever lies ahead, knowing that I am rooted in a legacy of love, resilience, and tradition. The changes that life brings can sometimes feel overwhelming, but standing in that space, I realized how much growth comes from embracing those changes with an open heart. Leaving the village, I felt a renewed sense of determination, carrying with me the lessons learned from the past and the inspiration to keep moving forward. My grandparents' home will always be a reminder that no matter what, I have the strength to navigate change and keep pushing towards a bright future.